Well, this is just not supposed to happen. Welcome to episode 21 of United City Randomiser, and to be honest, welcome to an absolutely befuddled manager of United City, because since we last played, which was back here against Borussia Dortmund, I suggested we got some really tough games coming up. Wolfsburg and Hoffenheim were in the top 3 or 4, and we went and won them all. It's just been incredible that the run of form feels like one of those moments that if you've played Football Manager long enough, you get to those moments in a season where you just think we're going on a run and there's not much that can change it. I mean, I've played pretty much all of my squad during these 3 games again, in a bit of rotation here and there. They've all had games, yet whichever one I put out, they've played well. I mean, occasionally the reporter said that we were a little lucky to win, especially against Wolfsburg. It was quite close. But, I'm kind of almost lost for words. So today, I'll show you what that means for the league terms in a second. But for today, we've got one last game against Werder Bremen before the end of the calendar year. So we'll play that game, and then I'll go through a little bit of January. I can't even talk, I'm so befuddled by what's going on. And we'll come back and play this in this area here, just part way through the transfer window, see if anything's happening there. I don't think it will. I'll go and show you a couple of things. So here's the league table for a start. We're in joint first but second on goal difference, basically, which is utterly insane. Everybody's doing well. The finances aren't particularly great in terms of our overall balance is fine, but we've got no transfer budget and we've got no wages, so I don't think January will be a particularly high month for any transfers coming in. I've also looked at the potential free transfers for the beginning of next season, so you buy them in sort of early January, and there aren't many around this year. If you remember, that's how we picked up El Neni, for example, last season at that point. So I've been looking around, but there doesn't seem to be anybody particularly special. So it's probably going to be quite a quiet January transfer window. So as I was saying, that the run of games, the run of form has been absolutely amazing. But what you also know with Football Manager, I mean, look, it stretches all the way back to, 7 games or something. It's mad. This is like 2 seasons in advance of where I thought we would be. I thought we would be struggling sort of to hit mid-table this season, but it's just, I don't know what to say. But one thing I was going to say was that there's always that point in a run of form on Football Manager where you think something's going to change that and something's going to come and interrupt it. And whilst everybody was fit, I thought that was good. But if we now go into our squad page, you'll see that that's not the case at the moment. We've got some injuries. So El Neni's missing this game. So is Marin. So is Aguza. Hahn probably is going to not play as well. He's only just coming back from injury. We've also got a suspension to Tiru. So you can see that unfortunately for this particular game, the last of the calendar year, our squad has been a little bit disrupted, especially in midfield with our 2 Metzala players really out. So Burnic is going to have to play that role, I think, in this next game, which he's not suited to particularly, but it's as good as we can do for one game. So, it is remarkable. I'm so befuddled by it, really. There's just no way that we should be this high in the table at this point, really. But we're here. We're going to fight for everything we can and see how far high up we can maintain, really, in the second half of the season. It really gives us an amazing platform. If you remember last season, we were predicted to struggle, and we survived. But we ended up on about 35 points in total, I think, somewhere around there, 40 points, whatever it was, I can't remember. But absolutely amazing. Anyway, so today we have Werder Bremen, who are down in 12th, so it's another decent opportunity, even though our squad is a little bit disrupted. So let's go into the game, and we'll see what happens in it today. What can I say here, if anything? There's nothing I'm just so completely and utterly befuddled by everything. But yeah, I mean, as I say, there have been some moments in some of the games recently where we have been a little bit lucky. I think it was against Wolfsburg. I think our winning goal when we won 2-1 was hilarious, because it was a long shot that the goalkeeper tried to parry round the post. Our long shot, their goalkeeper. He tried to parry it round the post, but pushed it against the post and it kind of hit him on the leg and rebounded and went into the back of the net. So some of those things that have happened to us in the past, where some of our players have made silly errors and stuff, we're beginning to see it around in other teams, which is by far the better way round. Anyway, forget all of that. Stop rambling. No more befuddlement. Today's a decent opportunity to play a mid-table side and get some points. So the team is a bit disrupted, but what we're going to be playing is Greitbust in goal, Cruiser at right back, Heiss at left back, Kempf and Omaru. So our defence and goalkeeper is the same, which is good. Silva remains as the deep-lying playmaker. That's good. Bit of change in the rest of midfield with Douglas Luiz coming in as the box-to-box midfield role, which he plays. And Burnich is going to have to play the Metzala. Might not be brilliant at it, but it's as good as we can do. Hadji on the right because Hahn has been injured recently. Dilrosun remains on the left and Batshuayi up front. So, yeah, that's the team that we're going to play today. We've got a bit of an odd bench with a few sort of randoms on it, really. But that's what we've got, so we go with it. So let's get into the game. So because I don't really want to upset any of the momentum that we've got, I've just let them go onto the pitch with clear minds. I haven't given them any further instructions. They all seem perfectly happy with that. So we'll see what happens. So today we're at home against Werder Bremen, so that's an advantage for us as well. We'll see what style of play we come up with today. We're playing our counter-attacking style of play in our 4-3-3 formation. Sorry, my mind went black a bit. We're playing, the counter-attacking. It's the one that I've been playing mostly against some of the higher teams in the league, and we've just looked good doing it. So I'm going to maintain that for now until we struggle in a game particularly, and then I've still got two other ways in which we can change it, as we've talked about before. But we'll start with the counter-attacking at the moment, just because it's working so well for us. We soak up the play quite well, and then we counter and break on and use our pace on the wide areas specifically to get opportunities. So here's the first highlight of the game. It's from our long goal kick, but they've received the ball. Decent ball wide. Cross comes in on the far post, and we're a little bit asleep, and their guy comes in and pokes it into the far corner of the goal. The long ball from the back, this one here, from right sort of midfield area to the right-hand side, was disappointing that we didn't have anybody covering him. And we also didn't get a challenge in for blocking the cross or anything. So that was disappointing. We find ourselves one goal down. Not the end of the world at this point. But we will just see how we play out in the rest of this half. So again, their opportunity to build from the back, which they begin to do. You can see we're holding a decent shape and pushing them quite high up the pitch. And we nick the ball and the cross comes in, and Hadji off the crossbar. Unfortunate. Again, the cross comes in. Hadji picks it up on the edge of the box. Back to Omaru all the way, and then the highlight ends. But that was unfortunate. A decent opportunity. Nicked the ball, got a decent cross in and hit the crossbar. Again, they're building from the back, so they're playing quite a slow, sort of steady build-up, it looks like. Maybe a vertical tiki-taka. Again, we intercept for Heiss. That's very good for him. Long ball forward. Batshuayi doesn't get hold of it, but Omaru does, pokes it through, and it goes straight through to the goalkeeper. Batshuayi was just too far on his heels not to be able to get to the ball first. They go long again. Again, we pick up the loose ball and get it out to the wide right. Hadji with the ball on the wide right, crosses it in, goes all the way across to Dilrosun on the left. Can he steady the ship and put a decent ball in? Looks like he was fouled. So we'll see what the decision is for there, but nothing came of it. So again, we had an opportunity down the right. The cross from Hadji wasn't particularly good, it must be said. And then the highlight fizzles out. But we're getting opportunities. You can see in terms of our stats, we've got a few shots on goal, which is positive, couple on target. Our possession you would expect to be a little bit lower than theirs just because we're playing the counter-attacking style. You can see that when we are attacking primarily, we're doing it down the left-hand side, which is fine by me. That's where our quality is in Dilrosun. And, those are the things that you would expect when you're counter-attacking, that you find the wide men who are high up the pitch to use. But that's half time, 1-0 down. They've picked up a few yellow cards which might help us later in the game possibly, but you can see that nobody's particularly playing very well, and it just, as I thought it would, it feels like our side has been slightly disrupted from where we are through the injuries. So we're going to have to G them up and get them going again. So assertively, we'll say, come on, lads, show a bit of desire. You don't look like a team who wants to win. And I think that's true. They've kind of been a bit blasé about it. You have the ability to make the difference. We're going to go passionately within each of our sections for that. So one last one in attack, passionately. You have the ability to make a real difference. Everybody seems motivated. Hopefully that's sort of kicked them up the bum a bit and made them realise that we've got a game that we've got to get something out of still. And so off we go again with the second half. Yeah, as I say, you can see all of their yellow cards. They've now picked up an injury, which is, again, is positive for us, really. Anything that disrupts their flow is good. Again, their highlight, and they're building very steadily again from the back, moving the ball round at the back, trying to get it through midfield, but we're creating a bit of a block for that at the moment, which is positive, trying to press them and push them into an error, which we did, but they regained the ball immediately. Again, it's a bit sort of pinball around the midfield. Eventually it finds its way to Cruiser on the right, who puts an aimless ball forward, but we make the best of it. Eventually Dale Rossen on the left, and coming in on the far side is Hadji, and that's a lovely goal in the end from Dale Rossen to Hadji. It was, as I say, it was a bit hit and hope occasionally in the middle of that section of play, but eventually Batshuayi got it, poked it through for Dale Rossen, who's got the quality on the cross, and Hadji making the late run, headers down at the goalkeeper's feet, who fumbles the ball really, and we find a goal. So we're 1-1. Much better. Feel better about that now. You can see that our shot rate is upped a little bit. That's positive. So hopefully it's the team talk in the middle of the game at half time that's really done the job, and as I said earlier, demonstrated they need to get something from this game. Our highlight, a long goal kick. Eventually we pick up the loose ball with Douglas Luiz, and it goes down the right, but it wasn't a particularly good ball. It was a bit aimless, and they pick up the loose ball, and again they get to start an opportunity from their back, from their defence, but had to go long because there wasn't an option. Again, Luiz picks up the loose ball, so can we make the best of it? Burnich in that Metzala role pokes it out left to Dale Rossen, who crosses it in, and Batshuayi's at the front post, the near post, and gets a decent opportunity and puts it into the back of the net. Well, that's another lovely ball. It's a second time we've seen this ball here, from Burnich round to the side, past the defender, and Dale Rossen onto it on his left foot, getting a decent cross in, and on the volley, Batshuayi powers it past the goalkeeper, and we get a 2-1 lead with 58 minutes gone, which is brilliant. A lovely comeback turnaround. It's the style of play that we've had. We've gone one down a couple of times recently and still managed to find ways through. So again, another highlight. We get to build up from the back, and then Kempf puts the long ball over for Batshuayi. Can he put the ball away? No, he puts it straight at the goalkeeper, who manages to get it out wide for our throw-in. But, decent amount of small passing at the back for a while, and then Kempf sees the run by Batshuayi and puts it over the top for him, and just can't quite find the finish. If he'd have put it low and to the side of the keeper, who knows, but not on that occasion. So we're at 61 minutes. You can see that everybody on our side is doing okay, sort of conditioning wise, which is positive. So we don't have to change anybody for that just at the moment. We haven't picked up any yellow cards, which is good, but you can see that the ratings of the players is going up, and that's really positive, showing that we've got a handle on the game a little bit. So we're into the 72nd minute, first yellow card. We are going to make a sub now. We're going to change a couple of personnel and see if we can bring some fresh legs on. We don't have much to change anything in the centre of midfield, so it'll probably have to be elsewhere. So there's some decisions to make. Our attacking players are doing okay. I'm going to take... what am I going to do? I'm going to replace the fullbacks, I think, and just get some fresh legs at fullback, because, they're up and down the pitch quite a bit. And we've got one player that's nervous, and that's Omaru. So I'm going to take him off as well, and chance Sisleben, who's not the best player, but has done okay when he's played recently. And we've got an advantage, and he's playing alongside Kempf, who's really showing his quality in the last few games. Since I moved him into the first team properly, he's demonstrated that he really deserves to be there. So, that's positive. So, yeah, just, more defensive change, really, just to keep some fresh legs there and hopefully deal with whatever they can put forward in the last sort of now 5-10 minutes of the game. So here we go for our long throw. The goalkeeper for them collects the ball though. That particular long throw didn't come to much. What can they do in response to that? They go long, but we pick up. No, we don't pick up the loose ball. We head it straight back to them. Here's an opportunity for them. Crosses it into the centre and a decent save, but on the follow-up. Oh, okay. I'll take responsibility for this one. I changed some of the defenders, didn't I? And seemed, that might well have had an impact, but a decent cross in on the volley, but a good first save by the goalkeeper, and he didn't seem to react much to the second shot, really. I know it was quite fast, but he didn't, and that's disappointing. I think long term, in the summer of this coming calendar year, when we move into 2021 or whatever it is, I think one of the things we're going to have to look at next summer is our goalkeeper position. I think both have come in and obviously they're doing really well. One of the real keys to our success so far has been our defence, because we haven't been letting in too many goals, but that's more about the defenders, I think, than the goalkeepers, who have made some errors. That's the end of the game here. It kind of fizzled away, didn't it? I wasn't concentrating so much on it after that equalising goal. But yeah, the goalkeepers aren't the best. I would like to think that maybe in the summer we can pick up a better option and just solidify that position, because the defence in front of him have been very, very good. We've not conceded too many goals this season, really. So I'm going to tell them that it was disappointing, not good enough, just because recent results suggest we should be able to compete with this sort of side, and we did, and we should have won. Between you and me, I'll take responsibility for that I changed too much at the back potentially, and that caused us a problem. But you make these decisions and you live and die by them, and on that particular one we came unstuck a little bit. Thanks very much for watching this episode of the United City Randomiser save. If you enjoyed the video, then why not click on the like button, as that would really help me. If you think you know anyone who would really enjoy my Football Manager content, then feel free to share this with them. But most importantly, if you would like to join my United City here on YouTube, then hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with my video releases. If you have anything you want to say about the United City save or the channel itself, then feel free to leave a comment below, but please try and be nice with each other. That'll do for today, so until next time, stay happy and healthy, and I will see you soon.